Alright, good morning everybody. I'm in my garden I got out here kinda late, but here's a tomato plant that I've allowed to grow differently than my other tomato plants. What I do is I start here when they're small, like this one. Like this is a small one. And I remove the lower leaves. Uh, you know, take all the foliage down here to keep it healthy and thriving. But anyway, so they all get that leaf treatment. That first bottom portion of leaves are removed. That's closest to the dirt. That's what I've learned, and it's worked. So, um, anywho, with this plant, I just am specifically pointing them out because I didn't get out here and get this sucker. I'm trying to hold one of these plants out the way. Hold on. Here we go. I didn't get out here and get this sucker. It got away from me. So it became another branch to my tomato plant, to my main stem branch. And had I pulled it's fine. It would have been a whole nother tomato plant. As you can see, there are tomatoes on it. And more coming. Um, and more coming off of it. And then over here, we have, if you guys can see, we have another sucker that I missed. And it too has branched into a whole other tomato plant. So this is three plants on one stem. And although they're generating some nice, pretty tomatoes, it can become a problem with support. So I won't trim the leaves too much on this one, but I gotta watch it a lot because each plant on this one stem is susceptible to all the tomato problems that we tend to have on just one plant. Blight, tomato hornworms, what is the other one? Blossom end rot, things like that. So if one stem experiences those things, the whole plant can be affected and so on and so forth. It has to generate a whole lot of energy, and it's going to need a lot more water than normal because it's three plants on one, and they're all flowering and fruiting. So this plant has got to put out a whole lot of energy for different stages of itself, which is a lot of work. So I will be doing a lot of attention to this plant here because I don't want to remove the suckers now because they have flowers on them and their trunks are their stems are really strong, and I would probably do more damage to the entire plant than I would if I just left it alone and made sure that it had supports and whatnot. But I'm going to keep watching it, and I'm probably going to harvest a lot faster off this plant because I don't want it to overwork itself trying to keep up with the demands, and I also don't want to destroy a potential awesome tomato crop. So abundance can be a blessing and a curse, but we're going to treat it as a blessing because, again, I saved my seeds. I take my tomatoes and turn them into sauce. So again, someone may not want tomatoes, but they may want tomato sauce, and I just got way too much, more than I can eat, and so on and so forth. And it just becomes this, basil is so pretty. Go on, girl. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you, that if you leave the suckers on, they will, they can grow into another segment of tomato plant that produces edible and perfectly, excuse me, perfectly great tomatoes. but it's just more work for the plant to do, and a lot of more issues can arise if you don't stay on top of it. But I'm out here all the time, so it's not even. Yeah, well, if I'm out here all the time, how did I miss the suckers? I hear you, whatever, and no, for real, you can definitely miss the suckers. Maybe I even probably even deliberately left it on there because it had flowers at the time. So who knows? Half the shit I do in this garden surprised the hell out of me anyway. So I'll keep you all posted. And look here, y'all, I'm nosy, so get your videos up. Let me see what you got going on. Like, get real with it. We all up in here talking about black folk who garden, but we can't see your garden. I want to see some stuff. I want to learn something from y'all too, because baby, look, we gonna have to be doing this thing for real one day. For real, for real. Like, hey, the nearest grocery store is not close, or shut down, or don't provide fresh fruits and vegetables, or there's so much we can do with just this skill alone. Our kids are at home. If they're not learning at your hands right now, then you have failed them. If you're waiting for the schools to open back up for your kids' education to continue, you are failing them. If you're not teaching them about seed sowing, seed saving, regeneration, reproduction, how do you distribute food, how do you get to food, how do you prepare food, if you're not teaching your babies, you're failing them. If this garden brings you so much peace and you got kids and they don't experience it at least once a week with you, come on. Put them babies in the dirt. Let them, this is how they get to be kids and learn at the same time. I don't know where that just came from. I don't know who need to hear it, but pay attention. These signs are real. And if our generational wealth is our children, and what they know and what they understand and what you pass down to them. They can't get that from anyone else. But we're steady giving them away to people and systems and entities that rob them of their abilities to create this shit. To know where a tomato comes from and how it turns red and all of that. Just the simple dynamics of what your food is supposed to look like, feel like, taste like, and what it's supposed to do to your body. Not this crap that we're settling for because of convenience, and it's cheap. Cheap? I'm growing a whole jar of tomato sauce. With the basil, I got the tomatoes, I got the onions over there. I mean, there's no black pepper grew as a plant. You know, black pepper is a seed. I dare you. Go get that black pepper, that whole peppercorn in the grocery store. I ain't playing. Rehydrate it in some water for about a couple of days. Hell, look up a couple YouTube videos. Don't take my word for it. I just be doing random shit and it show up and I gotta go look at YouTube to be like, oh, what the hell did I just do? Oh, that's a thing. Well, let me learn more about it. And here you go. I had just about 50 tomato plants because I thought one day, I wonder what would happen if I do this. And then I learned that, oh, shit, that's a thing. That's a real thing. And there are people doing it. I want to be one of those people. And then when I do it, I'm like, hey, I want to tell somebody who's trying to learn it to do it. Go try this. Be as amazed as I am. And the fascination on your kids' faces when you're just as in awe as they are, like, oh man, they will always have that. They'll always remember that. They're supposed to learn at our feet in the way that they absorb things, not in the way that their classmate does or the teacher tells them to. Like, that system is a detriment to our babies, and we're not doing anything about it, even when they come home. So Get back to the organics of why it is that growing food is necessary. And why are we allowing other people to feed us? Just saying. Your hunger and your satisfaction is determined by you. Can't nobody tell you you didn't had enough to eat, or, that's too much. Just your body systems tell you. That's information that's between you and your existence. When we sit up and tell people, hey, feed us, and this is what we eat by society standards, based on medical conditions, fresh fruits and vegetables are not on that list. Homegrown fruits and vegetables are not on that list. They don't tell you, go home, grow your food, and your blood pressure will come down if you eat it. And get out there and breathe that fresh air and walk and bend over and stand up and adjust. Like, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, pop this pill and hope your face don't swell up. If it does, come get another pill or slow down on the pills I gave you. No. So, I done went from educating our kids to high blood pressure. See, this is why I don't get on video in my garden. But I be wanting to show you guys so much. Like, I just picked these daggone greens yesterday. Not complaining. Not complaining. Not complaining at all. Took down my lemon balm because some of it's going to flower. Well, where you see flowers, you will see seeds. So my lemon balm is flowering, which is fine. I have so much collected and dried and bagged and frozen. So I'm going to let this go ahead and do what it does and collect my seeds in the next few weeks. But this plant also comes back. Like, I've only planted this once, but I've harvested so many times off of it. Once it dies back, this one right here, this dead branch, this was the last bush that was here after the seed, and everything else was new growth. So all of this is going to die back, and then boom, it's going to come out here one day and it's going to be a bunch of lemon balm. And basil is beautiful. Well, I've talked you all's head off. Drop those videos. Let's get to know each other. I mean, at least your gardens.